back at it for another day of local television. Local television entertainment, local television information, and local television TV. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. It is the 12th day of November 2020. It's Thursday. Weekend's almost here. Going to be an interesting weekend from Mother Nature's perspective. Talking a little bit of snow. After the sun goes down tonight, maybe a half an inch here on the valley floor. Maybe a little dusting of snow early on Friday morning. It's looking that way anyway. Mountain passes are going to get hammered with tons of snow. That's going to start, later on today. I'm going to give you some rather remarkable snow totals that they're predicting for the Cascades when we get to the forecast here in just a couple minutes. And we will give you the latest past report as well. We have news to get to. COVID still dominates the news and will for quite some time. We got some numbers to throw your way. Sports preview the Seahawks and the Rams. They'll be in Los Angeles at that brand new stadium in front of nobody. Huskies will be at Husky Stadium Saturday night in front of nobody. The Cougars will be at home at Martin Stadium in Pullman, 4 o'clock kickoff Saturday afternoon in front of nobody. Sports, we have the obscure holiday today in history. Some celebrity birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And the Sangster Motors BNCW virtual tour of homes is going on right now. And my good friend Amy Gustin, one of my all-time favorite people, came in and taped an interview with me yesterday. We're going to air it for you today to let you know everything that you need to know about the virtual tour of homes and your chance to win some cash, too. That conversation with Amy coming up in the back half of the hour. 2 minutes into the show. 26 degrees, high clouds. Let's see what we got out here. Sun is, right now, this is sunrise, 7:02. Sunset tonight, 4:28. 9 hours, 26 minutes of daylight. You can see the slate gray skies, a little bit of salmon colored off to the top of your screen from our Heights camera and that low cloud hanging over Rocky Reach Dam. My tree continues to lose its leaves at an alarmingly high rate, and I think it's the cool temperatures is doing it. And again, little dusting of snow, not out of the question tonight and tomorrow. In the higher elevations, it's going to come down in feet. Big system coming our way. Nothing really big down here, but we're going to keep a close eye on it. Camera number 2, where are we off to, Megan? Megan gets to choose. That looks to be Stamen Flats. That's Hose Landing. I did it again. I always confuse those two. And I don't know why, because Hose Landing's on the other side of the river. So that is pretty much Entiat is what we're looking at in the general Entiat area from our Hose Landing camera, which is in Douglas County. US 2, US 97 at the bottom of your screen. People making the morning commute up to Orondo and places to the north or to the south, as the case may be. And the mighty Columbia keeps on rolling right along from our Hose Landing camera. Camera number 3. Let's see what's happening. Well, not too far from the Hose Landing camera, as a matter of fact, is that camera. The Orondo Rock camera. It's one of our lowest cameras. We use that camera a lot in the wintertime when we get socked in with the clouds and the fog, and we have the inversion, and our upper cameras, or cameras that are sitting up high, don't really do us much good. So we have this camera we can use. Taking a look at Turtle Rock, you can see the snow at Mission Ridge and Clockham Ridge way off into the distance. Can't quite make out the valley, and way off in the far right-hand corner, you can see just a little bit of Rocky Reach Dam. Lake Entiat dominating our view there. And camera number 4. Wow, Badger Mountain? That looks cool. I like that. Badger Mountain that's just stunning. It just really is. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that the route from East Wenatchee to Waterville, if you wanted to take Badger Mountain, was not a paved road. A lot of axles found out the hard way, but now it's paved, and so it's kind of a pleasant little drive if you want an alternate. If you want to drive from the Wenatchee Valley up to Waterville and you haven't done the Badger Mountain route yet, it's worth it. It's kind of a fun drive, and certainly some spectacular views. That's proven there from our Badger Mountain camera, high atop the valley proper. All right, a couple of slides to show for you from the National Weather Service. First of all, let's look at Friday night and Saturday. Again, lowland snow, yeah, we're going to get some in the Wenatchee Valley, maybe a half an inch tonight, an additional half an inch early tomorrow morning. Leavenworth, you have a better chance of getting more. Certainly the Lake Wenatchee area, perhaps going to get a little bit more. Down here in the lowlands, very little light snow, might be just enough to slicken up the roadways, and that's about it. but it's going to snow cats and dogs up in the Cascades. In fact, the Cascades have a winter storm warning for the mountain passes. That's going on right now through 10 o'clock tomorrow, and then it switches over to a winter storm watch at 10 o'clock tomorrow and goes through 4 a.m. on Saturday morning. Also, it could be a little on the windy side on Friday and Saturday for portions of our viewing area. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Now, as far as next week is concerned, from the Climate Prediction Center, temperature is going to be about normal, as you can see there. The temperature gauge is to your left. The gray means it's going to be about normal for this time of the year. But as you can see, precipitation-wise, we're in for a continuing band of moisture coming in over the November 17th through the 21st, and that includes more heavy snow in the mountains. Will continue for the foreseeable future. They're going to get a lot of snow for the next 2 weeks. Really. All right, from the National Weather Service, here is your forecast. There we go. Cloudy today, precipitation going to be late this afternoon. Probably, if we get anything at all, it'll be after sunset, 4:35, right around there. Patchy fog, cloudy, will top off at just about 39 or 40 degrees. As far as snow today, very little. There is a chance after the sun goes down, we could get maybe a quarter of an inch of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. Now, we are going to get some snow tonight into tomorrow, but it's not going to stick around very long. 31 for the overnight low. Again, less than half an inch of snow is expected, and then it switches over to rain on Friday afternoon. The snow level goes up to 2,000 feet, whatever snow we're going to get tonight, and into the early hours on Friday, going to be long gone by Friday afternoon. You can forget about that. So rain likely with a high of about 43, 35 for the overnight low on Friday night. Even though the snow level is going to go down to 1,800 feet, which is pretty close to the valley floor, the chance of rain or snow goes down accordingly. Here's your weekend. Saturday morning, not much. Snow level is going to start out at sunrise at about 1,500 feet. It's going to go up to 2,500 feet by Saturday afternoon. We're expecting a mixture of clouds and sun, but really mostly sunny and above normal temperature, high of about 47 degrees. So whatever we're going to get precipitation-wise on Saturday, certainly in the form of rain. Sunday, maybe a few more clouds than sun, slightly cooler, slight chance of rain, high of 44 degrees. And we're going to have cloudy conditions, mild, and perhaps some raindrops on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Now, the passes. Let's take a look at what we got from the Washington State Department of Transportation. I'll bring it up on my computer here, and you can take a look at it yourself. That's I-90, live shot there. No advisories, no restrictions, roadway bare and wet. You're good to go. Stevens Pass, which of course is about 1,000 feet higher in elevation. Traction tires are advised there. You're going to find compact snow and ice on the roadway, not snowing on Stevens. That's going to change. Blewett Pass, you're fine. No advisories, no restrictions. Roadway is bare and dry. So we have a traction tire advisory on Stevens. Nothing happening on Blewett or on Snoqualmie Pass. But as I just mentioned, they got a winter storm warning and a winter storm watch. Here are your accumulations for the mountain passes. Today, 2 to 4 inches. Tonight, 10 to 14 inches of snow. Friday, 6 to 10 inches of snow. Friday night, 3 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday night, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Sunday, 3 to 7 inches of snow, depending on the pass that you plan on traveling. So by Sunday night, the Cascades are going to get anywhere from 27 to 49 inches of new snow starting today. It's pretty much going to snow almost nonstop from later on today, almost all the way through into the about noon or so on Sunday. So get ready for major winter driving conditions in the Cascades. 9 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break and come back with your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Mark your calendars for the first ever Sangster Motors and BNCW Virtual Tour of Homes, November 9th through the 15th, presented by Complete Design and Banner Bank. We have 8 extraordinary homes by some of the most talented builders around. From entry-level to the premier custom homes, you'll view innovative ideas, special design features, and one-on-one interviews with the builders. We'll be airing the virtual tour on the NCW Life Channel beginning November 16th.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
High clouds, 26 degrees outside of our studios. Cloudy today, some patchy fog. We'll top off only at about 40 degrees, give or take a couple. A little bit of light snow tonight, a little bit of light snow early on Friday morning, then it switches over to rain. But a very active weather pattern coming our way. Here are your headlines. First of all, the latest COVID thermographic from our friends at the Chelan Douglas Health District. This came out late yesterday afternoon, and as you can see, we are trending again in the wrong direction. For the week that ended yesterday, they do these every Wednesday afternoon, 371.4 cases per 100,000. 1 week ago, it was 240.4 cases per 100,000. Before that, October 28th, 178.2. October 21st, 168.3. So we are trending in the wrong direction. So after the numbers from yesterday, 371.4 cases of COVID-19 per 100,000 population in the Chelan Douglas Health District area. More news from COVID-related. Confluence Health had a record day Monday for both the number of people that tested for COVID-19 and the percentage of those tests that came back positive. Andrew Canning is the Director of Marketing and Communications for Confluence Health. He said 609 people were tested Monday at their drive-through services on North Chelan Avenue, with just under 13% of those tests coming back positive. Unlike the community-wide testing that was done by the health district, the Confluence testing requires that you have a referral before you visit the drive-through. Canning said so far this week their testing has diagnosed 156 new COVID-19 cases with a positive percentage rate of 11.7%. He said it's a trend that's been ongoing for the past couple of weeks. Canning said previous testing normally resulted in a 6 to 8% positive rate. There are currently 4 Chelan County residents and 4 Douglas County residents who are being treated for COVID-19 at Central Washington Hospital. 1 patient is on a ventilator in the ICU. Another sign that COVID-19 is not going away anytime in the near future. State emergency proclamations that were put in place as far back as February can extend into December. The Washington State Legislature yesterday authorized the extension of 27 public health orders issued by Governor Jay Inslee, covering everything from unemployment benefits to health care licensing to public records. All those health orders will now persist until at least December 7th. A Wenatchee man is jailed on suspicion of sexually assaulting a woman he escorted home from a party back in October. 45-year-old Israel Gonzalez Munoz was arrested Friday after Wenatchee police investigated disclosures by a 20-year-old alleged victim. The woman said she was intoxicated and awoke at Gonzalez's apartment missing parts of her clothes. Gonzalez allegedly admitted to sexual contact with the woman during interviews with police. He's being held on a $100,000 bail and is awaiting charges. Workers yesterday removed the iconic fire bell atop the Chelan County Fire District number 1 downtown Wenatchee building, right across the street from our studios. As a matter of fact, they're going to move it to the district's new fire station. That station nearing completion at the former Prospector Pies location on North Wenatchee Avenue. Fire District Chief Brian Brett said both the bell and a fire pole will be moving along with the firefighters to the new station.
Good morning. Exciting times for Chelan County Fire District 1. We have been at this fire station here at 136 South Chelan for 91 years, and we are moving into our new location on November 23rd at 731 North Wenatchee Avenue. This building has a lot of history, very meaningful to everyone that's worked here and the community, and we wanted to take some of that with us. So we went to the Historic Preservation Board of the city and asked permission if we could repurpose the old bell that's been stored up on the roof of this station for years and take one of the fire poles. What we're going to do with the bell is put it out in a pedestrian plaza on display out in front of the fire station. It'll look really nice, and we'll hopefully detail out some history with it so people have something to read and get some context. The pole, however, we still use the fire poles every day. It is still the best way to travel, very efficient. We installed the new pole at the new station, or the old pole at the new station. It is in service and functional. I personally haven't had a chance to slide down it yet. It is installed to modern code, and you have to hit a button, and there's a light above it that says in use. It's pretty neat, and our guys will still be using that. And behind me here, to go in to one of our north stations, this particular fire engine here is going at the Sunny Slope Fire Station. We just purchased 2 of these, and we're super proud to have them. We're going to do a dedication ceremony to Garrett Rasmussen's family and Mike Compton's family on December 5th, and a push-in ceremony dedicating our new apparatus in our north and south locations.
More news on this Thursday. The New York Times and other media outlets are reporting that Governor Jay Inslee may be a contender for a cabinet spot in the incoming Biden administration. The reports say activists are pushing for the president-elect to choose Inslee for Secretary of Energy, citing the governor's pro-environmental message during his own failed presidential campaign. Other cabinet spots being talked about: Department of the Interior, maybe the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Inslee's office said yesterday he had no information on the rumors and said that the newly re-elected governor is right now, and I'm quoting, taking a few pre-planned vacation days off. The Chelan-Douglas Transportation Council largely deals with automobile traffic around the Wenatchee Valley, but today they're scheduled to consider whether to join a national network of bicycle routes. Our very own Jefferson Robbins filed this report.
The U.S. bicycle route system is still in its formative stages, but it promises to be immense. The American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials and the nonprofit Adventure Cycling are in charge of mapping out a system of bicycle routes that would stretch from coast to coast. Jeff Wilkins, executive director of the Chelan-Douglas Transportation Council, says his members will vote Thursday on whether the 2 counties should become part of the project.
We have a mandate to think about long-range planning and long-range needs for the 2-county area here for all forms of transportation. So we're involved in freight rail, even commercial air services, anything transportation related, freight mobility. Most of what people see is the emphasis on road and bridge projects.
In Washington, the USBRS already encompasses parts of the North Cascades highway system and extends from Bellingham to the Idaho Panhandle. But AASHTO's first step in building new parts of the route is to reach out to local transportation planners, asking for their preliminary endorsement of the idea. That's the vote being considered on Thursday.
The work Chelan-Douglas Transportation Council has been doing around bicycle transportation and bicycle safety hasn't really been all that focused on this U.S. bike touring route initiative, but I think it's one that it's recommended to the board that we would accommodate with this resolution.
Any formal designation could be years away, and specific USBRS routes in the valley haven't been scouted. But if adoption moves forward into future phases, Wilkins says it could put the Wenatchee Valley on the map, literally.
We already see a lot of bicycle tourists on our highways and city streets and county roads passing through the region. So it's not necessarily creating something that doesn't already exist in the region. I think there's generally a pretty high level of interest in cycling in this part of the state, this part of the country.
Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
Thank you for that report, Jefferson. We appreciate it. That's what's making news on this Thursday morning. The whole crew will be gathering news, disseminating news, and boom, out comes a newscast. Takes a lot of work. We got a good group that does it. Grant Olson handles the weather. He's also the anchor, and he also has a preview of the stories we're working on tonight.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, get ready for rain and, yes, snow. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports with Eric Granstrom, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll comments on the upcoming matchup with the LA Rams. That and all the day's news and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
I will be watching, Grant. I try not to miss the news. I really don't. I like to be informed. Look at the bottom of your screen. Those are the ways you can get a hold of us. You can call us, you can email us, you can go to our Facebook page, or you can go to our website. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. You know, some television stations just talk about the Seahawks, But here at the NCW Life channel, we really talk about the Seahawks. Preview the Hawks and the Rams when we do sports in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
21 minutes after the hour. Let's do sports. Seahawks, of course, trying to bounce back from their loss to Buffalo last week. They're going to travel to Los Angeles, taking on the Rams. On Sunday, LA sits behind Seattle in the NFC West. They're 5-3. Hawks are 6-2. The challenge all season long for Seattle has been defense. They're allowing a league worst 455 yards a game. Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says this is not where he and the coaching staff thought they would be at the start of the season.
Well, I don't think any of us had thought at this point that that we'd be playing like we are. I don't think anybody, as hard as we work, guys are here early, staying late, putting in the time. The numbers aren't nowhere where we're expected to be. Some things are going well and a lot of things aren't. But the guys are fighting, the guys care, the guys are coming up, they're staying late, they're trying to figure it out, and I really like the attitude and the commitment that everyone has shown, the togetherness, to understand the hole that we've dug together, and we're going to have to find a way to, get out of the darkness and find some light. And the best way for us to find light is to move ahead, to move forward, and to continue working.
Jared Goff is 11th in the NFL in passing. Coach Pete Carroll says the coach of the Rams, Sean McVay, has provided his quarterback the best chance of being successful.
He's only been sacked 10 times and he's got nice numbers and all that. Their commitment to the run game and the run action stuff that they do, get him out of the pocket a ton, is more than anybody in the NFL. Their style of throwing on early downs, it really does lend itself to taking care of the quarterback. And he obviously gets that. He's a great ball coach, and they work really well together. He's lucky to have Sean, and Jared's a really good football player too, so they're lucky to have him as well. But it's a really nice mix that makes it hard.
Seahawks are getting a little better at pressuring the quarterback. They sacked Josh Allen 7 times last Sunday in Buffalo, but Bobby Wagner says the Rams are going to be providing a bit of a tougher challenge when it comes to sacking the quarterback because Goff is constantly getting out of the pocket.
I think that's with any quarterback. If you get in any quarterback's face and don't let him have the time to see his routes, allow him to recognize plays, things of that nature, get his feet set, you can really throw him off. So, they do a really good job of countering that with the boots that they run, the stretch boots that they run, different plays to kind of get him out of the pocket, get him moving, because he does a really good job of finding the open receiver when he's on the move. So, they do a good job of, if they are blitzing and getting to him, that's when they get their boots and different play actions to kind of counter what we're doing.
Carlos Dunlop made his first start for the Seahawks. Remember, we got him in a trade with Cincinnati 3 weeks ago, and he said it felt odd being on the field with a new team. I mean, after all, he spent a decade with the Bengals.
That pregame warm-up was so weird. It was so many weird feelings going out there. I was trying to do my normal routine. Even though I did my normal routine, it just felt like out of place and weird. And then, when we came out as a team doing our warm-up and we're stretching and I'm looking around, You know, you normally have one or two guys you make eye contact with and you get going or you say something to. And I was, you know, trying to find out who's going to be my guy and, you know, still getting to know the guys. But it was exciting. You seen during the game when I made plays, guys came, celebrated with me. That was fun to see, and it was natural for me. So I look forward to building on that and, you know, playing better as a defense because obviously we did not play good enough. So I can't sit here and act like, you know, we had a great game or my game means anything or Reed, he's not happy about his game. We want to do that with wins. Like, that's the standard here.
Another challenge for the Seahawks on Sunday, protecting Russell Wilson. That's especially true because they'll be facing one of the league's top pass rushers in Aaron Donald.
He continues to really draw all the attention and make the plays. You know, I think he's got some like 40 times he's affected the quarterback, you know, by himself. 9 sacks. And there's a lot of times when he's close as well, you know. So he's just a dominant football player. He's as good as you can get. He's as good at his position as anybody has ever been. And you know, so it's a real challenge to go against him. And it's good for us. We need the work. We need the challenge. It's hugely important for us to be able to handle him and not let him be a factor. And that's what we're going to try to get done.
Seahawks and the Rams at SoFi Stadium in beautiful Los Angeles, California, 1:25 on Sunday. It's the game of the week on Fox. So Seahawks fans, you can look forward to the call by Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. He said, tongue firmly in cheek. All right, the Huskies will finally play their first Pac-12 game Saturday at home. They'll take on Oregon State. That's the Cougars in the Oregon, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Washington had his first game of the season, of course, against Cal. Canceled when a player on the Bears program tested positive for COVID-19. UW coach Jimmy Lake says the team found out late about the cancellation, but they adjusted.
Found out the news. We had an emergency team meeting about 45 minutes after that and let the team know. They were extremely disappointed, but I'm proud of them. They did not flinch. They did not flinch one bit. We rejuggled our schedule and ended up practicing on Saturday and Sunday. And I love the way the guys responded. They came out to practice with energy and focus. And they just understand that this has been a roller coaster ride, and we're going to expect another dip at some point too. There's going to be highs and lows, and I'm just really proud of how the team responded.
Huskies and the Beavers don't kick off on Saturday night at Husky Stadium, an empty Husky Stadium, until 8 o'clock. You can watch that game on FS1. Cougars, they'll be at Martin Stadium. They got a challenge. They got to take on the number 11 Oregon Ducks. Again, that's the Huskies and the Beavers there. That game will be broadcast live on Fox at 4 o'clock. Again, no fans in the stands at Martin Stadium in Pullman. A revelation this week out of Washington State is that 32 players were held out of last weekend's win at Oregon State because of one positive test for COVID-19. Head coach Nick Rolovich said he and his coaches had a long discussion with his team about being safe and staying smart.
We had a pretty real conversation for Halloween weekend. And, you know, we knew where our numbers were as far as guys available to play. And, you know, if we brought a lot of COVID into this place, you know, there was a possibility, you know, it could shut us down. And I like the commitment this team has made to each other. And it's been, you know, I don't even know what Pat said, you know, as far as this active case. I don't even, but, you know, his daily testing has been really good, I think, to really rule out a lot of the stuff that we were uncertain about early on with this disease.
The Pat he's talking about is Pat Chun, who's the athletic director at Washington State University. Washington State University has a policy of not releasing any personal team information on COVID-19. It is Thursday, hockey night tonight. We got the Wenatchee Wild and the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. Our checker with the play-by-play, 7 o'clock tonight. Caribou Patrolling football on tap tomorrow night. The Bulldogs and the Omak Pioneers. It was cold back in October for that one. Eric and Grant with the call. On Saturday, we got Moses Lake and Eastmont Volleyball at 2 o'clock. And the Jerry Bershauer Memorial 100 at the WVSO at 6 o'clock. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday. I had 3 obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. Today is National Pizza with everything on it except anchovies Day. But we're going to stick with the food one. Today is National French Dip day. Super easy to prepare. A French roll, some roast beef, you slice it up thin, you cook it in the broth, and then you put it on I like to put Swiss cheese and onions on mine. Then you have your little cup of the au jus sauce, and you dip it, and you bite it, and you eat it, and it's good. It's strictly an American invention. Why we call it French dip, I don't know. It must be the bread, because you're supposed to put it on French bread. 2 LA area restaurants claim to be the home of the original French dip sandwich. I'm not going to get into the politics of that. They still claim they invented the French dip sandwich. I don't really care. It's just good, easy to make, quite tasty, not terribly expensive. National French Dip Day today. That does look pretty good. All the restaurants serve French dip now, as well they should. Eat it up. 31 minutes after the hour, today in history. All sports leagues, big and small, have commissioners. They just do. But the first sport to ever have a commissioner named the very first commissioner in the history of sports 100 years ago today. November 12th, 1920, Major League Baseball owners elect Kennesaw Mountain Landis as the very first commissioner of baseball. His job was to clean up the sport. Baseball had a major integrity problem because the Black Sox scandal had just broken, and they said, hey, the integrity of the game is everything. People need to understand that there's no cahootinizing going on, that the games that they paid good money to watch is being played on the up and up. And they needed somebody with authority and gravitas, and they decided Kennesaw Mountain Landis was the job. So he was appointed commissioner. He said, I'll do it as long as I get to run the sport with no interference from you guys. I'm the sole authority over all of baseball, the players and the owners. And they said, sure, why not? The very first commissioner in sports history elected 100 years ago today. The bizarre case of women and children last. The English ocean liner SS Vetrus on this date 92 years ago today, November 12, 1928, sinks approximately 200 miles off the coast of Hampton Roads, Virginia. 110 passengers died. All of them were women and children, because as soon as they discovered that the Vetrus was going to sink, the crew abandoned the ship. We're out of here. You're on your own. Women and children last. 92 years ago today. 66 years ago today, Ellis Island closed its doors. It ceased operations after 62 years of processing 12 million immigrants, almost all of them from Europe. 12 million immigrants passed through the gates of Ellis Island and then into the great American bloodstream. Of course, that's why New York got to be so big, because they made it. They made it to America, and there was really no reason to go from New York to Ohio or Iowa or Washington State or whatever. 12 million immigrants. And then it just kind of sat there and fell into disrepair before they finally got around to making it what it is today. Ellis Island closed its doors 66 years ago today. Today is the 50th anniversary of the exploding whale incident. 3 days before, on November 9th, 1970, a huge sperm whale, and I mean big, 45 feet long, it weighed 8 tons, it washed up on the shores of the Oregon coast near Florence, Oregon. Just a big old sperm whale. Now, Florence, Oregon, like the whole Oregon coast, very dependent on tourism. And for the first day, on November 9th, it was cool. Everybody came out to, people flooded to Florence, Oregon to look at the giant dead sperm whale. Well, the next day, November 10th, a rotting dead sperm whale on the beach starts to stink to high heaven, and it really started to get bad. And instead of all the tourists coming to look at the big dead whale, it did the exact opposite. Everybody had to get out of Florence because it just stunk. And they said, we got to get rid of this thing. What are we going to do? They decided, well, it's too big for the scavengers that would normally eat the carcass to eat because it's just big, so let's blow it up. So they buried a bunch of dynamite underneath it, and they assumed the resulting pieces would be small enough for the scavengers to consume it. Well, take a look.
All right, Fred, you can take your hands out of your ears. Here comes pieces of mine.
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast, The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. Pieces of meat passed high over our heads while others were falling at our feet. The dunes were rapidly evacuated as spectators escaped both the falling debris and the overwhelming smell. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Fortunately, no human was hit as badly as the car. However, everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Oh, 50 years ago today, the exploding whale incident. Sorry, I find that unbelievably funny. They don't do that anymore, by the way. The policy now in the state of Oregon is if a sperm whale washes up on the beach, they bury it right there. And if the sand isn't deep enough, they move it to another beach that is deep enough. Finally, 19 years ago today, November 12th, 2001, the three surviving Beatles, as you see there, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison meet for the last time at George Harrison's hotel room for lunch in New York City. On this date in 2001, George Harrison was terminally ill with cancer. He would die 2 weeks later. They saw each other for the last time, Ringo, Paul, and George. Birthdays, we'll whip right through them. We're running behind schedule. Booker T. Jones, leader of Booker T and the MGs, 76 years old today, a rock and roll legend. He finally wrote his memoirs, published them last year. Really good. Huge fan of Booker T. Jones. Happy birthday, Booker. He's 76. Al Michaels, 76 years old today. He wrote an autobiography. It's fascinating. Of course, he's with NBC Sports, with ABC forever and ever and ever. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Al Michaels, 76. Neil Young, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, two-time inductee. Actually, three-time. Buffalo Springfield, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So he's in the Hall of Fame a couple of times. Neil Young, 75 years old today. Nadia Comaneci, the queen of the 1976 Montreal Olympics, the first gymnast ever to score a perfect 10 international competition. Nadia Comaneci is 59 years old today. And Anne Hathaway is 38 years old today. She makes a lot of money. She's got Academy Awards. Life is good for Anne. Going to take a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion, and then we're going to talk about the Sangster Motors BNCW virtual tour of homes with Amy Gustin when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner with dine-in or takeout options. Highlander Grill's friendly staff is here to serve you 7 days a week this winter. Contact Shalane, Highlander Grill's site coordinator, to schedule your corporate event or special occasion.
Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, over the past few years, I've heard increasing criticism of a company we know as Goodwill. Now, this criticism runs like this. Goodwill's paying nothing for the merchandise that they retail. They pay their employees a pittance and make tons of money in a despicable manner. Now, I can't believe this criticism of whoever this guy is. Whoever the guy is who came up with the idea about Goodwill, he came up with a very creative business plan, offers entry-level work experience to folks who might not get a job anywhere else, offers good prices for the stuff you need, and gives you and I the opportunity to get rid of your junk and get a tax write-off. And I kind of think the criticism of this guy is prompted more by jealousy than any justifiable social outrage. And by the way, the people I've spoken to who work for Goodwill, they like their jobs. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. In this age of COVID, a lot of things have been canceled. A lot of things have been changed. Some things go on, COVID or no COVID, and by golly, this year it's back again. The building North Central Washington says we're going to do our tour of homes one way or the other. Of course, the good folks at Don Sangster and Sangster Motors have always been a part of it. And it's back, the tour of homes, only this time it's point and click, which is cool with me. And here to talk about it is my good friend, Amy Gustin from the ADG Media Group. That is an acronym for I'm really good at what I do. Hi, Amy.
Hi, how are you,
You look fantabulous. You really do.
Thank you.
The 2020 Sangster Motors BNCW virtual tour of homes is underway now.
Yes.
You can watch it anytime you so desire, but let's go back in time a little bit.
Okay.
This event's been going on for years. I've been a part of it. I used to do radio remotes there, and then I would just do it just because it's cool for ideas to look at what these people are doing with their houses nowadays. It's phenomenal. Sometime down the line, you would realize, okay, well, COVID is going to mean that we can't put on our little things over our shoes and walk through people's houses anymore.
No.
What are we going to do? Walk me through this whole, how did you decide to make this thing happen?
You know, it was one of those things that, you know, BNCW is a nonprofit. And the events that we do all year round are what help us survive throughout the year. And we couldn't do it. We knew we weren't going to be able to do it. And so we kind of just put our thinking hats on, and we came up with the idea to do a virtual tour. Once we had that idea, then it was getting everybody on board, right? I mean, that was the hardest part, I think, is you have this brainchild and now you have to sell it to the builders because it's about the builders. And that's what BNCW is about, promoting our builders and promoting small business. So I was really surprised how quickly the builders jumped on. It's a new product for them, and at the end of it, they're actually going to get their video too. So it's something a little different for them. They don't have to stand there for 3 days and talk to people, and a lot of them, you know, don't necessarily want to do that. They do it because it's good for their business. But I think they have been really happy with how it's turned out already. We tried to do it a little different. It's not just a tour of the house like you can get on a real estate website. This is actually Eric Granstrom walking the builder through and talking to the builder. So things that you might not have heard during a regular tour, you would hear during the virtual tour.
And it should be pointed out, we got to give Eric huge kudos.
Kudos.
Eric Granstrom, who did just yeoman's work last weekend to put this whole thing together. He did a phenomenal job, along with his cinematographer Uriah Darby. Big thumbs up to those guys. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, how is BNCW doing? How are the builders doing in this COVID world? How does spring and summer and fall go?
You know, the builders are doing really well. You know, I think a lot of the price of goods has went up, but that usually goes to the owner of the house versus the builder. But they're all doing really well right now. I mean, they were closed, of course, for months during the first part of COVID, and then once they got opened up, it boomed. I think that we've seen a huge influx of people moving from the other side of the mountains over here. So a lot of the custom homes are actually either second homes or people moving over here from the other side. So, but all in all, I think they're doing good.
Because I've heard many locations where contractors and organizations like Building North Central Washington aren't doing very well. So it's good to hear that our local group is hammering and nailing and
absolutely, and they're busy.
And that's good.
They're
that's
very
really good.
busy. Yeah.
We have the program. If you didn't get it, it was in Tuesday's Wenatchee World, but these things are everywhere, right?
They are everywhere. And then if you don't see one, you can always call BNCW and come by. We have, you know, temporary hours still because of COVID, so it's probably better to call us and we can mail one to you, or you can stop by and pick one up.
And by the way, you're going to want to keep this too. You're going to want to keep this. This is not one of those things that ends up in your garbage can. This is something that you want to.
And that's a good point, because in the back of it is our directory. All of the members of BNCW are in the back of this. So for anything that you have need for, from banks, mortgage companies, I mean, it's about small business.
So the contractor said, why not? We're on board. We're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and be part of the virtual tour. Then what? I mean, they say, this is the home that I specifically want to want people to see?
Yeah.
How did you how were the homes decided?
Well, the builders have to have a home A. During the regular tour of homes, they have to, of course, have those homes ready at a specific time. They can't have been lived in. So I had opened up everything, and I let homes come in that maybe people have even been in for the last 2 years, but it was something that they could never show in the tour because there wasn't parking, or they were too far out for people to drive to. So this actually was kind of cool because some houses that are in it wouldn't necessarily have been in the normal tour of homes.
There's a couple of homes. You're just going to have to watch the virtual tour. I'm not going to spill the beans on it. There's a couple of homes, and then Eric and Uriah would get back from a shoot, and they would go, "This home is spectacular."
Yeah.
The home that we just went is like mind-bogglingly cool.
Yes.
So the idea is still there to go let people plant ideas in their heads for things that they might want to do.
Yes. And the thing, too, that I want to bring up is it is free admission to log on. So it's a point and click, like you said. You go to our website, you click on the virtual tour logo, and it takes you to a landing page where all the videos are at. Yes, we do. We have 3 or 4 spectacular custom homes. One of them is actually a spec home out the Clockham.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raven Wing Ranch. And the views,
Phenomenal house.
The views are
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different styles in this. It's pretty cool. You have the, modern ranch homes, and you have the beautiful craftsman. There was another one, Steve Sadler's home in Crescent Bar. It has that entire view of the river. It's absolutely gorgeous, too.
And it's really cool. And you're going to notice this when you watch the video, how much pride these contractors take in the work that they do. These guys are vested heart and soul into every nail and every screw.
Absolutely. And that's what kind of cool about the interview process and the whole thing is Eric is such a good interviewer. And it wasn't that they knew what questions he was going to ask. So everything was off the cuff for them, but they all had in common that they love to go back and see how happy people are in those homes that they built.
It was always a bit of a challenge, having done the actual tour of homes when you go from home to home to home. The homeowner is not there, if it's a home, if it's not a spec home, but a home that somebody's actually living in. Not really the case this year. So you didn't have to worry about Bob and Cheryl, you got to take off for a weekend.
No.
You don't have to worry about that.
No, and we started filming this. I mean, I think the first one we filmed was in August. So we did still have to work around some things getting done in the houses because they were still being built, but it all came through. Like I said, Eric is awesome.
We have a video to show you. This is about a 3-minute video, give you a little tease.
Yeah.
And then when we come back from the video, Amy's going to walk you through how you actually do the Sangster Motors BNCW virtual tour of homes. So here's a little snippet of what you have in store.
Hi, I'm Eric Granstrom with the NCW Life Channel. Welcome to the Building North Central Washington virtual tour of homes. 2020 has been an interesting year. Let's call it unique. With COVID and shutdowns and face masks and social distancing, it's made life kind of interesting. So what we're going to do is take you on a tour of 9 of the greatest homes you'll find in North Central Washington and talk to the builders about why theirs is different. It's all right here on our virtual tour presented by Sangster Motors. Come on along.
But we try and design all of our homes around a great room concept.
The Sangster Motors BNCW Virtual Tour of Homes is a chance to take a tour of some of the greatest homes from the top builders in North Central Washington, all from the comfort of your own home. We've taken months to tour 8 different locations throughout the region to bring you the sights and the insights of the builders to their unique approaches at both custom and spec homes.
Beams on both sides of the room, not because, well, they are structural, but it adds just a nice little soft element into what could be a really harsh environment otherwise.
You walk in and you got the big 8-foot tall door there, and then the 9-foot ceiling with the vaulted, it makes it feel very grand and big. And big living room area. The floor is really cool. It's kind of like a barn style look. Looks like somebody kind of pieced it together.
Well, of course, as you walk in, the first thing you see is this view. I feel like I'm almost in a treehouse here.
Yeah, we've got a large window package, especially in the entryway here in the living space. It just makes you feel like you're connected to the exterior, connected to nature.
So this is like a little study area.
that
And
they've got.
immediately, of course,
And immediately you
taking
see,
advantage
like
of
you're in the
view.
Love Boat, Lake Chelan, prettiest lake around.
You'll hear from Mike Roberts of Roberts Construction, Chris Groby and Rob Carlisle with Carlisle Classic Homes, John and Austin Port of Real Homes, Steve Sadler of Sadler Construction, Greg White of GL White Construction, and Kent Lenson of Lenson Homes.
Just brought the outdoors right into the house with all these windows. In fact, the developer is like, wow, I just feel like in a penthouse, which I've developed in the past.
I liked going back to houses I've built and, visiting them, and it brings back memories of all the different things that we've done. And
The Sangster Motors BNCW Virtual Tour of Homes is also presented by Complete Design and Banner Bank. The tour will be available online only at bncw.org starting November 9th. Visitors will have a chance at winning $1,000 cash. Then we'll be airing the virtual tour on the NCW Life channel beginning November 16th. We hope you enjoy the Sangster Motors BNCW Virtual Tour of Homes.
As Eric mentioned, it started on November 9th, what do you do, Amy, to do the virtual tour? Walk us through
what do
that.
you do? It's so easy. All you do is go to bncw.org. On there, you'll see the virtual tour logo. You click that logo, and it will take you to a landing page. It's pretty easy. Complete Design is our welcome sponsor. They have a video right there. You watch that video, and it explains to you what to do, but you're virtually just going to click on the different home builders. It's going to take you to their landing page with all their information and with the home sponsor. Each one of these homes has a sponsor too. So there's side-by-side information, bios, photos, layouts. At the bottom of each one of those pages is the video.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that, and it's free.
And starting, I believe on the 16th, as the video mentioned, we're actually going to be airing it here.
Yes.
On the NCW Life channel. Now, in years past, Amy, you would go to all the different homes with your card.
Yes.
You get it stamped, and you're in the drawing for money.
Yes, and it was $500 then.
$500, yep.
Because this is a virtual tour, we were trying to do something different and to push traffic. We bumped it to $1,000. So you go online, you watch all 8 of these videos. At the end, you'll watch the Banner Bank thank you video, and it's going to explain to you how to enter into the $1,000 cash. We also have some voting for people to do, because that was another element that people love to do. So you'll click on it. It will take you through the judging element, which I believe we're doing a People's Choice. We are doing exterior appeal, favorite kitchen, and favorite master suite. So you'll get to vote on those, and then you'll put your information in for the entry into the $1,000 cash. 18 or older, 1 per household.
And they can keep track of that. So
Exactly.
no cheating.
Yeah, and the official rules are there too, so that if you have any questions, you can read those too.
And you can watch this as many times as you want.
Oh,
but you can only enter
100%.
once, but you can watch it as many times as you want, and you will.
Yes, because
Yeah.
there's so many new things. I mean, yes, we can't go and touch and feel like we normally do for the tour, but you can see the paint and the tiles and the countertops and the flooring and get your inspiration.
I was seriously pumped when I discovered that this was still going on, because I love the BNCW Sangster Motors Tour of Homes. I've always loved it, and I'm going, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do it this year. Now I can.
Yeah, and see, there's another thing too. There is a QR code on the front
Right
of
there.
the magazine.
Yep.
And so that's another way you can hover your phone over that, and you can go directly to the website off of that too.
There are some people that you need to thank. There's probably a lot of people
Oh
that
my
you need to
gosh,
thank, but
so many
there's some
people.
people that you actually want to.
Absolutely. First, all the builders. I mean, without the builders, we could not do this. We have Lenson Homes, we have Roberts Construction, GL White, Sadler Homes, Real Homes.
I want you to forget either Robert Sadler, Real, Lenson, GL White,
Yes.
Carlisle.
Carlisle. That's
Carlisle,
it.
yep.
Yeah. So 2 of the builders have 2 homes.
Mhm.
Sadler has 2 homes, and Real Homes has 2 homes. So first off, want to thank the builders. Next, of course, Sangster Motors. We couldn't do it without them every year too.
It's
They've-
Don.
Yes.
Come on, Don's
Yes.
Don's always on
I
board.
know, Don
If
is
it-
awesome.
If it's good for the community, Don and the kids are always on board.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
that's what this is about. We all have to support local businesses, especially in a time like this. So for them to support us too, we so appreciate it. Complete Design and Banner Bank, again, they have been presenting sponsors for a long time. We appreciate everything that they did. This year we have home sponsors for each one of the homes. And we have Marson & Marson, we have Bergren's Backyard Oasis, Laura Mounter Real Estate, Native Network, Artisan Flooring, Valencia Fencing, North Meridian Title and Escrow, and Wenatchee Valley Glass.
It should also be pointed out, as I mentioned, don't throw this away, because in the back, as Amy said, it has the list of all the members of the BNCW, but it's also, if you just want windows done, you got window people in there, or plumbing, or electrical,
There's
or
everything in there.
internet, whatever, land use, whatever, it's all in here.
Right.
It's all in here.
And
to
these
go.
people, we have a clearing for them. So, they're licensed and bonded. They are a good, solid business if they are a member of BNCW.
Yeah, this is, I cannot stress this enough, because the BNCW, they have a vetting process. Just because your check clers the bank doesn't mean you're in.
Right.
You have to have certain standards or you can't get into the organization. So,
Exactly.
unlike the NCW Live channel where they let idiots like me host television shows. One last thing, a little shop talk. Eric Granstrom, Uriah Darby, two of my coworkers, yeoman's work in all this. They did a great job.
I couldn't have done it without them. Eric was one of the first people that I went to when I had this idea. I was hoping that he would partner with me just because I love working with him and I know what product he can bring me. And he did, him and Uriah both.
Good guys, they really are. Again, you can do it right now, anytime you want to.
Absolutely. You have till this Sunday, the 15th.
There you go. And then next week, it'll air on this very television station.
Yes, and we thank you guys for doing that too.
And
so
Amy,
we're
I
so
can't say no
excited.
to you. You know that. Amy Gustin, interim person, building North Central Washington, Extra Motors, ADG Media Group. She does it all.
Yeah.
She does it all. It's good to see you.
You too.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for the gift.
Hey, no problem.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
All right, we're back here at Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee, Washington, US of A. Let's take a look at a quick slide from the National Weather Service. Here's your weather situation for Friday night and Saturday. And Friday night, we could get a little bit of light snow right down here in the Wenatchee Valley. In our viewing area, you're going to get snow to the north of us. There's going to be some measurable snow in the Lake Wenatchee Plain, perhaps even the Leavenworth area. Very little snow down here, but we're going to get a little skiff of snow. As a matter of fact, from the National Weather Service, let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast. Today, clouding up, some fog, pretty chilly for this time of the year, only 40, that's below normal for this time of the year. Now, we could get a little bit of light snow shortly after sunset tonight, and then a little bit of light snow overnight into early Friday morning, and then it will probably switch over to rain. We have about a 70% chance of something coming down out of the sky tonight anyway. Whatever we get is going to be long gone because Friday we are going to have some rain. The snow level is going to go up to about 2,000 feet. We'll top off at 43 degrees. Not a bad Saturday. Quite a bit of sunshine actually. High about 47 or so with a little bit of light rain, a little breezy at times. On Saturday night, snow levels are going to be at 2,000 feet. So again, a little bit of light snow tonight and a little bit of light snow early on Friday morning. Then it switches over to rain, heavy snow, and I mean heavy snow expected in the mountain passes. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.